The gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Jordan, for his opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before President Biden, before Democrats controlled all of government, there was never a better time for American workers. Manufacturing was on the rise. According to one estimate, President Trump's first 30 months, manufacturing jobs were up 314,000 over where they were under President Obama. We had low unemployment, in fact, the lowest in 50 years. Wages were booming across the board, and we saw massive job growth across all sectors of our economy. Anyone paying attention knows that even with the virus, our job market is resilient. Drive through any town in America, anywhere, and you will see dozens of hiring signs, with many offering high starting wages and signing bonuses. Talk to any employer right now, and their biggest problem is actually getting people to come to work. So the biggest threat to the American worker is not any of the things you brought up in your opening statement. Frankly, the biggest threats to the American workers are far-left Democrat policies. Democrats are using the pandemic to have a government takeover of our economy. They want to make permanent the extraordinary welfare programs enacted in the last 18 months. And on top of that, they want to ram through trillions of dollars more in spending. We've seen an eviction moratorium, vaccine mandates, paying people not to work, not to mention higher taxes, rampant inflation, and undoing much of the Trump administration's regulatory reform. I mean, the Democrats' economic plan seems to be lock down the economy, spend like crazy, pay people not to work, tell them they can't be evicted, and then for everyone who is working and is paying their rent, oh, they're going to raise your taxes. Such a deal. Maybe the dumbest economic plan I've ever heard of, but that's their plan. Make no mistake, the Biden economy is not helping American workers unless these workers are federal bureaucrats in Washington. The radical Democrat policies are leading to higher prices for American consumers in the short run, and in the long run, they will only increase the already crushing debt burden we're placing on our children and grandchildren. And that's not even to mention some of what Democrats on this committee have proposed doing, including empowering the Biden administration's radical Federal Trade Commission to attack our free enterprise system by overhauling antitrust laws and upsetting precedent that applies to the economy as a whole. If you thought corporate America was in bad shape now, just wait until Lena Khan and other Biden bureaucrats get more power. The chair of the FTC is already abusing the power she does have and is ruling the FTC in an authoritarian fashion in a total departure from the way the commission has worked for the last half century. In fact, I look forward to hearing from Commissioner Wilson on some of these concerns. This committee ought to be conducting far more oversight of the FTC and how it has moved away from its original mission. The best thing we can do for the American worker is getting Washington off their back. I look forward to today's discussion, and I want to thank all our witnesses for being here today. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. It's now my pleasure to introduce today's witnesses. Our first witness is Eric Posner.